I put my last dime on a long shot bet. Chart looked shaky, had me dripping in sweat. Whiskey in one hand, mouse in the other, praying to the market like it's my blood brother. Thought I lost it all, felt the walls cave in. Then that candle shot up like a tailgate grin. I was one tick from broke, one sip from crying. Put my rent on trade, had my hands to the sky, man. But I rode that dip like a drunk on a bull. Now I'm pissing out whiskey and pockets stay full. Boss called twice, said, son, where you at? Told him I just made more than his whole paycheck. Damn. Wall Street wolves tried to take me down, but I rode that squeeze like a bull through town. Had one foot in the grave, one foot on the gas. Now I'm pouring out shots, screaming, kiss my ass. I was one tick from broke, one sip from crying. Put my rent on a trade, had my hands to the sky, man. But I rode that dip like a drunk on a bull. Now I'm pissing out whiskey and pockets stay full. Bet against me, man, that's just cute. I cash out winners while you chase a dispute. Whiskey neat, yeah, my hand's still steady. Market's looking wild, but my sales already. One tick from broke, one sip from crying. Put my rent on a trade, had my hands to the sky, man. But I rode that dip like a drunk on a bull. Now I'm pissing out whiskey and pockets stay full.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, Vietnam. We are back at it again, Daniel. It is, what is today? Wednesday, the 23rd? Is it the 23rd, folks? I think it's the 23rd. I believe it's the 23rd. So we're back at it again. I have bad news and I have worse news. What would you guys like first? What would you like first? The bad news or the worst news? I'll let you guys pick. I will be a benevolent dictator of this particular digital universe. What would you guys like first? Well, actually, there is a little bit of good news too. So there's good, there's bad, and there's worse. I shouldn't just be a negative Nancy and be like, hey, folks, there's only bad news. There's only worse news. There technically is worse news, all accounts blown. That's a good, all accounts, well, actually, that's even a lie. All 50K accounts blown. I rode the strategy that you guys saw me take. It actually never got filled. I rode it to the end of the day, and it was not happy whatsoever. So, unfortunately, back to the fucking drawing board with that EMA crossover strategy. That's just like, I cannot figure out what additional filters to add on to the EMA crossover. The EMA crossover is a strong strategy. That's the third trade of the day. If you guys remember yesterday, we did a market open trade. We did a VWAP breakdown trade, and then around 10:15, 10:30, there was an EMA crossover with trend. and that one was not happy. Well, that was not a good one. I did some back testing last night, and technically Tuesday is the weakest day of the week to trade it. So I guess you could have argued just turn it off, man. But I feel like I'm just missing something here. I feel like I'm missing some sort of the secret sauce. I feel like there's one more filter. And what I want to do, and I just can't figure it out at this moment, stop using bots and do it by hand. Trading by hand is fucking stupid. Cole, that's a dumbass suggestion. That really, really is. No, you're not going to find day traders trading by hand who are net profitable. That does not exist. You might be able to find swing traders. You might be able to find investors. But day traders, people who get in and out in the same day doing it manually, you will not find someone who is net profitable in the long run. Of course, on any given day, they might make a profit. On any given day, they might lose money. But I'm saying in the long run, day traders do not make money, especially if they're doing it by hand. It just does not exist. It doesn't exist. Overact much? It was just a question. Well, you've been here. I expect better of you. Like, I don't know. I expect you at a certain point to pay attention. You should already know the answer to that. Like, at what point has manual trading ever been better than systematic bot trading? It doesn't exist. Like, I don't know, at a certain point, like, use your brain. Swing traders can do a profit. Well, that's different because with swing trading, you're removing some of the noise from the system, so you can get quote unquote cleaner signals. The longer your time frame, the easier it is, but it's also putting a ceiling on how much money you can actually make. So if you basically, it's the inverse of time. Like, so basically, if you look at something like Citadel and high frequency trading, we're talking about microseconds. It's extraordinarily difficult, but if you're good at it, you can make billions and billions of dollars per year. On the flip side, you're not going to make billions of dollars per year from long-term investing, even on a percentage return, but it's an easier thing to pull off. So it's the inverse. The longer your time frame, the odds of your success go up, but the ceiling of your potential profit is getting lowered and lowered and lowered. So the shorter your time frame, the more noise that is involved. It becomes very difficult to be successful, but if you are, the ceiling is technically higher. So it's kind of like that balancing act. Most people, most retail traders would be better off just investing. For the ones who take it seriously and do a lot of analysis, swing trading is probably the sweet spot where there is a good chance that they could be successful, and yet the profit ceiling is high. And then once again, I've now been doing this for years. You are hard pressed to find day traders who are net profitable in the long run. It's just very, very, very difficult. Is it possible? Yes, obviously, mathematically, it is possible. Of course it is. But I'm just saying the difficulty doesn't pick up linearly. It picks up exponentially. And then this idea that people think that they could pull that off manually is not right. It's like you're taking something that's already very difficult and making it more difficult. Because from there, you're also like, baking in other complications such as, like, I don't know, emotion and things like that, or whether you're sick or not. Like, it's just an inverse relationship. Jesus, I just spilled coffee on me. Oh, geez, that's not good. You know, it's not till the moments that you spill coffee on yourself that you realize that you're, like, kind of just keeping it together barely. Like, we're talking about, like, it's a small little thread that's keeping society together. And a simple event such as spilling coffee on yourself at 9:09 in the morning it's really enlightening of how close we are all just to fucking snapping. It really, really, really is. That's fascinating. Wow. Just one little, like, what pushed him over the edge? Just one little cup of coffee. Like, just one little thing. And you're like, dude, I'm going to freak the fuck out. All right. So that's the worst news is the strategy. It is net profitable, but the statistics of it not blowing out a 50K account when trading one NQ is very, very low. Once again, not impossible. You could hit a lucky streak off the get-go, and it might be fine, but the odds of that are very low. So you have various options. Instead of trading NQ, you could trade MNQ, and instead of trading a 50K account, you could trade something with a larger drawdown, such as a 150K or 300K account. So there are other ways you could play with it, but even though that's true, and I know that you can start to slowly but surely stack the odds in your favor a little bit more based on the account you're trading, I still feel like there's something missing there. And my knee-jerk reaction is I want to somehow incorporate the data of options flow. I hear time and time again, I've read the books, I've heard the lectures, I've done the analysis, and I fully understand that you just need some other non-correlated filter in there of like, should you be going long, should you be going short beyond the initial signal. And like, man, my gut is telling me it relates to options flow, and it relates to getting the delta measurement and making sure you are not trading anti-trend of the delta flow specifically. And that, like, that's where my mind's at. That's where I'm obsessed with it. That's the data that I need to figure out how to export from one service, import into another service that's then running the system. And that's where I'm at. It is not a technically easy lift whatsoever, but I feel like that's what I need to do. I feel like that's where the secret sauce is. So due to that, that's the bad news of I know what I need to do. It seems difficult. And in the meantime, I'm putting myself into purgatory, and I'm slowly, like, what I want to do before I make the payment to go from eval to funded on Apex, which is 20 accounts, 140 a pop. That's pushing fucking $3,000. Especially with the evals. Now you're almost talking $4,000. I kind of want to put myself in purgatory and just, I suppose, spend the times it takes for the current systems to get it passed, use that time to figure out the new system, and then apply the new system to PA. So that's the bad news, where I'm basically putting myself in a little bit of purgatory. But the good news is the fact that we're at a new all-time high. The S&P 500, not the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is struggling a little bit this morning, but the S&P 500, if look at your, like, talking about what's quote unquote easy, look at your long-term account right now, open it up, especially has exposure to like the general stock market, such as the S&P 500 or the Dow, or even really the NASDAQ. You're going to be waking up and looking at like brand new all-time highs. The reason we're at all new highs is because it was announced late yesterday a trade deal has been struck between the U.S. and China. So obviously I want to get into that before the market opens. I want to give you the key levels. I want to let you and really remind you that, hey, earnings are coming out tonight. Big ones: Tesla, Google, aka Alphabet, IBM. I think Chipotle is even today too, which I think I care more about that stock or that company than the other ones. Absolutely love Chipotle. So there's a couple things that I want to get you guys prepped up for today before that market goes dingity ding ding ding, and then we're going to quickly revert back to degenerate trading. Dude, the amount of hours last night and this morning, folks, I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep. I did many revisions to the current state of code, and we're going to just see how it plays out. So on that note, let me get you guys ready. Let me rip through it quickly. Dow futures pop more than 200 points after Trump announces a Japan trade deal. Right now in pre-market trading, the SPY is battling it out at the all-time high. The Qs, not so much. Bitcoin was looking good at 120, down to 118. I am not happy about that. I'm currently swinging Bitcoin call options, and I like the technical breakout that we got yesterday. The fact that it's getting reverted so quickly is not making me a happy camper, but let's see how today plays out. And then the small cap world, ripped it from 221 all the way up to 226, taking a little bit of a breather right now. So that's a quick snapshot. Obviously, all this optimism is due to the trade deal. U.S. and Japan reached trade deal. Trump says Tokyo will face 15% reciprocal tariffs instead of 25% he had threatened. So you could call it the art of the deal. You could call it a taco situation. What I call it is a brand new all-time high. This is from Trump himself on True Social. We just completed a massive deal with Japan, perhaps the largest deal ever made. Japan will invest at my direction $550 billion. That's billion with a B dollars in the U.S., which will receive 90% of the profits. This deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There has never been anything like it. Perhaps most importantly, Japan will open their country to trade, including cars and trucks and rice and certain other agricultural products and other things. I know there's probably like a real economic discussion here, but I think it is funny that Japan is opening up their country to us for our rice. I just find it funny. I know you could like fucking push up your glasses and be like, well, Matthew, have you considered blah, 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 blah. Yes, I get that there's probably like a real like economic agricultural thing going on there. I just find it funny. That's my whole point. I think it's funny that Japan has to take our rice. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the U.S. of 15%. This is a very exciting time for the U.S. and especially for the fact that we will continue to always have a great relationship with the country of Japan. Thank you for your attention on this matter. So this popped off late last night, 7 p.m., basically when I should have been going to bed. And ever since then, the market has been liking it. So here's more of the details.
A trade deal with Japan will be setting tariffs at 15% and see Washington's major Asian ally invest $550 billion in the U.S.
I just signed the largest trade deal in history. I think maybe the largest deal.
Once again, this was from last night.
We worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody. I always say it has to be great for everybody. It's a great deal. A lot different from the deals in the past, I can tell you that.
Sherry, I'll start with you. This seemed to be catching the market a bit by surprise. How positive is this news?
Pretty positive. Hence new all-time highs.
Yeah, we have seen the Japanese yen gain ground and reverse earlier losses. We're seeing JGB yields rising and obviously...
Quick question. I know we're not supposed to see race, but do you think that this particular Bloomberg panel was racial profiling? Like at all? Like what are the odds? You know, am I racial profiling? Are we all racial profiling? I don't get who's the racist here. Am I racist? Is Bloomberg racist? Or is Bloomberg and Matt racist? These are just all things to consider.
Japanese yen gained ground and reverse earlier losses. We're seeing JGB yields rising and obviously stocks. You mentioned some of those automakers. You mentioned Subaru, for example, that has more than 70% of its global sales going to the United States. We had Mazda as well.
All of the
Toyota
above,
also seeing its best day since August of last year. So markets are pretty impressed with the deal so far, but the details are still pretty scarce. What we've heard from President Trump, as we heard from him earlier,
Honda,
is that this
Nissan,
would be
Toyota,
a historic
Subaru,
deal.
poppin'.
What do we know so far? That it will be 15% on Japanese goods going into the United States. Domestic media, NHK, reporting that that will include 15% tariffs on Japanese autos. That would be coming down from 25%. Those 25% tariffs were expected to have a $19 billion impact on major Japanese car makers. So that's a sigh of relief if we actually do get that confirmed. Prime Minister Ishiba coming out earlier today saying that even he needs to see the details of these agreements. So we're still watching out for that. We're also watching what happens to rice because, of course, that's a very sensitive and symbolic sector here in Japan. And NHK also reporting that Japan is set to increase the import ratio of U.S. rice. Not necessarily talking about tariffs, because remember, if you bring down the
fact that they're
tariff
taking our
rate
rice is so
for
funny.
rice, what is a competitive advantage of the U.S. could be a big question. So far, we know that, for example, last year, U.S. imports of rice were about 40% of total imports into Japan. So we'll be watching what this actually...
So the main thing right here is cars and agriculture. That's a big win. And also the fact that we just are hitting a deal, especially with their election. It is one, like, that's why the market is reacting so positively. A different side note on like just the commentary of racism. Bloomberg is allowed to call their show the China Show. If I were to call this show the China Show, I'd be canceled. That doesn't seem fair to me. It doesn't seem fair at all. If I was like, you know what? I don't want to call this the Matt Kohrs Show anymore. I want to call this the China Show. I get in trouble. But when Bloomberg does it, apparently it's just useful insights from mainstream media. It feels like it's a little bit, I don't know, unfair in a certain sense. Just a little bit unfair if you ask me. It doesn't stop there, though. Trump shifts gears to EU after striking Japan deal. We have Europe coming in tomorrow and the next day, and we have some other ones coming in. So this was in that same press conference yesterday on the whole Japanese news. But from there, apparently, we might be getting some positive news related to the EU. The August 1st deadline for 30% tariffs on imports from the EU and the US is just days away, but it does seem like we are progressing in the proper direction. Is that a guarantee that a deal will be struck? I don't know. These types of things blow up all the time, but also, as we can see with Japan, that deals do get struck all the time. So it's kind of... I'm going to err on the side of optimism that this deal will be struck because we want it, the EU wants it. So it's probably more so figuring out the nitty gritty details, or it's going to be more of a sense of mutually assured destruction. So I don't think either party wants that. And really, we do have a week and a half for them to figure this out, maybe a little bit over a week. I think they're going to get it figured out. White House reveals U.S.-Indonesia trade deal framework, final talks underway. So it's one of those things where we're talking about a deal. We might have a deal. We have the framework for a deal. And then apparently, I don't know, they're really big more into frameworks of deals than they are real deals. But apparently there's a frame. What does that even mean? That just sounds like a good thing to put on a headline or a good political talk of it's the framework of a deal. It's the does my system make me money consistently? No, I do not. The system just blew me out yesterday. But could I spin it by saying I have the framework of a functioning system? So it's not that I have a profitable system. It's that I have the framework of a profitable system. You see what you do there? It just sounds better. I don't know. It's strange. But anyway, apparently the market still likes it. The U.S. and Indonesian governments have agreed to the framework of a trade deal, according to the White House. Jakarta will drop almost all tariffs on U.S. goods, while imports to the U.S. from Indonesia will be set at 19%. Very, very interesting percent, but 19 it is. The U.S. and Indonesia will continue to negotiate and finalize the agreement on reciprocal trade in the coming weeks. So this feels like one of those things where they're kind of saying it's a done deal just so that they don't hit the August deadline. But even this, they're saying it's going to take the coming weeks. So I don't know, a little bit interesting if you ask me. I guess for those of you who are interested, here's what they specifically had to say on Indonesia, if it plays.
News right now out of Washington, D.C. Eamon Javers brings us that. Hello, Eamon.
Breaking.
Just posting on social media a short time ago details of a trade deal with Indonesia. The president saying that the U.S. tariff rate on Indonesia will be 19%, that Indonesia will go to zero on what they say are 99% of U.S. exports to Indonesia. They're also going to lower, the Indonesians are, non-tariff barriers. According to senior administration officials, Indonesia has agreed to accept U.S. federal motor vehicle standards. They're committing to removing export restrictions on critical minerals and a number of other items that the U.S. considers trade barriers that are sort of non-tariff related trade barriers. So a deal here being announced on social media by the president calling it a huge win for our automakers, tech companies, workers, farmers, ranchers, and manufacturers. Contessa, back over to you.
Certainly keeping all of the correspondents in Washington, D.C. busy as we track down to that August 1st deadline. Eamon, thank you for that. We're getting...
Does anyone else find it interesting of simultaneously, we live in a situation where I deeply believe the effort, I get that President Trump came in like a bull in a china cabinet with this whole just trade deals and tariffs. I deeply believe the short-term kind of panic chaos that it prompted is going to reap massive benefits in the long run. I think the deals and the negotiations going right now it's going to be amazingly, amazingly good for the U.S. And I get it. In April, the market tanked and everyone freaked out. But guess what? We're at new all-time highs. We're going to be A-okay. Hey, sick. Awesome. Great. Isn't it interesting that simultaneously what Trump is attempting to pull off for trade is breaking so well in his favor, even though we're getting this taco situation? The trade deals, from any economic measure, they are favoring us, especially relative to what the deals were before. But does anyone else find it interesting that as that's occurring, we're also at the worst pullback ever for Trump related to the whole Epstein files. Like, simultaneously, he is suffering one of the worst blows, but also executing on one of the most popular things. Like, and it's all happening at the exact same time. Actually, I would argue that it doesn't really get any attention anymore, but it was a big campaign thing of like cutting down on illegal immigration, and allegedly they're like, according to the border crossings, there's zero. So he's and once again, just commenting on what he campaigned on. He crushed the immigration thing, exactly what his voters wanted. He's pulling off this trade thing that, in my humble opinion, and I think many economists would agree, that on a relative measurement to what they were before, this is good. But then simultaneously, it's also the worst hit he's also taken with the whole Epstein thing. Like, kind of crazy to have like just the best and the worst. I suppose that's the yin and the yang of the situation of the best and the worst, but it's crazy to me that it's exactly at the same time. Anyway, that's what I think about in the middle of the night. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, mattkohrs.locals.com. I break down what's going on in the week. I give you a cheat sheet of the earnings. Please do not forget, after the market closes today, Tesla and Google and IBM and Chipotle. Tomorrow, American Airlines and Intel. And then this sets us up for an even more exciting week next week. Like I said, a little cheat sheet there. All the major macroeconomic events. We get existing home sales at 10. Crude oil inventories at 10:30 today. So, yeah, something that might jostle the market a little bit, but not like the end all be all. A little bit more exciting tomorrow. And then with respect to seasonality, today is neutral. That doesn't mean expect choppy price action today. It just means historically, looking at this full day, some years have been bullish, some years have been bullish and bearish and bullish and bearish and bullish and bearish. And basically it just means I'm not really taking seasonality into account in my personal bias on the day. But my personal bias on the day is actually a bit bullish. How are we looking? Oh yeah, it looks like we are popping up to new all-time highs there. My bias on the day is a muted bullish day. There's a lot of positive gamma here. Look at all that purple on your screen. That's a lot of positive gamma, as in sticky price action. So please keep that in mind, that I am by no means, like, is it possible? Yes. But I am by no means expecting some large, huge percentage gain today. There's just too much positive gamma. Whenever we go up, market makers are going to sell. Whenever we go down, market makers are going to buy. It's going to be a muted day, but I think it favors the bulls because the option structure favors the bulls, the momentum favors the bulls, and the headline favors the bulls. So basically, my base case on the day is a controlled bullish day. Not a blowout bullish day, but a controlled bullish day. With that in mind, these are the key levels I'm paying attention to. Obviously, as I always do, I mark out the previous high, low, and close. We have the transition zone, and then also this one's a little special. It's the all-time high, which we're going to be opening up right in this region, but 6336 is the all-time high in the S&P 500. Yes, I am fully betting on a new all-time high today. And then from there, we have all the major open interest levels of the day. An interesting level is going to be 6350, and then from there, my reach target on the day is 6385. But once again, I'm really not coming into today swinging for the fences just because there's so much positive gamma. So much positive gamma. Now, if it fails at any of these levels, yeah, obviously watch 6330 and then watch the top of this transition zone at 6320. So as long as we're above it on a 0DT perspective, the bulls are in control. But once again, I think it's going to be a pretty controlled bullish day. That is my base case. And obviously, as we get new data and whatnot, we'll be able to reevaluate. On that note, the market's about to get going, which means I need to switch it up. Very quickly, shout out to Apex and shout out to Bookmap for being today's stream sponsor. Bookmap is pinned to the top of chat. You can click on that link and you'll get some nice fat discounts. And then on Apex, in the description of the video, there's 1 day and 15 hours left on this current deal. Use that code Goonie to get 80% off of evals. And on that note, I just wanted to show you here. Here are my, what is this one? Tradeify accounts. They're still looking good. 6K, 5K, and 3.5K. And then I have the leftover take profit accounts, and then I have brand new Apex accounts. So I just wanted to show you I did not break any of my rules this morning. Day one, back on the horse with the newest version of the code, and we're going to see how it plays out today. We're going to see how it plays out today. All right, let me get that set up. Let me make sure this is all on. All the systems are on. Click, click, click. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we are good to go for market open. Make sure the copier is on. Yes, that is good. Yes, that is good. Okay, cool. All right, folks, we're getting ready today. We are getting ready today. You guys have less than 1 minute. What is your bet for market open from 9:30 to 9:31? What is your bet? You only have seconds to answer this. If you answer after the market opens, your guess does in fact not count. From 9:30 to 9:31, what is your guess? Bullish, bearish? Maybe you're going to go with the weird variant bet and say absolutely nothing. What do you think it's going to be? I can tell you. I'm actually kind of... Oh, dude. Here we go. Get ready, Tonto. Get ready, Tonto.
Order submitted.
Get ready.
Order filled.
Boom. Well, that doesn't make sense. What the fuck? How is that possible? What the fuck is going on? How did it locked in? Why is it still? How is this possible? What the fuck is going on with slippage here? Look at this. How could it possibly lock in on this trade, but then not on these? Like the lead account locked in right here. Sim. What the fuck is going on? I truly don't understand how this is possible. It locked in, like the lead account locked in, and then these other ones didn't. Is the copier just fucked up? I don't understand this at all. See right here, even this locked in. Look at these realize. See, 350, that was the trade. The trade is good. It hit, but
Order
for
filled.
some reason, they're still open. What the fuck is going on? This is so incredibly so the system hit. The system hit exactly as expected. Money locked in, money locked in. Why in the world? I don't understand. How it's even showing that it got the fill. But then yet it's showing live position still. How the fuck is that possible? The trade was there. It got the fill. It's showing a partial fill? How do you get a partial fill on sim trading?
Order filled.
All right, so that's the daily loss limit being hit.
Target
So
filled.
the counts are still live, but it's frozen until... I don't understand how this is possible. How some are getting filled on a fucking sim account. Like, I get it in the real world. How is that possible? I don't know. I don't possibly understand what the fuck's going on here. Where it got filled. Only some got filled. Like, how did it choose? Like, look at this. All right. So this one got filled. Look at entry, exit. Great. This one got filled. Entry, exit, great. So the lead accounts that I was using in copy trading across, they got this fill.
Order submitted.
I don't understand. Like, it's showing that it's getting a fill, but yet then these positions are all open. Someone's going to have to fucking riddle me that one. Someone's going to, like, how in the fucking world, like, literally on the screen, it's showing the fill. Right there. Well, now this one's running a whole different strategy on this short entry. What the fuck, dude? This is going to cause me to lose my fucking mind. How in the fuck is that possible? I just don't. So that got the fill at 50 and 75. Oh, maybe the copier is so fucked. Maybe I need to run the strategy independently on each single one. rather than doing a copy trade. Maybe I just need to literally turn on a million fucking strategies and run it independently on each one, because that's fucking insane. It tried to get the fill at 50. Some of them got to fill a tick higher. It went beyond the profit target. Yeah, literally went beyond the profit target. That fucking blows my mind. How can it go beyond the profit target and not get the fill? You could see here where it was trying to get the fill. 50, 75. How high did it go? What was the high of that particular bar? The high of that particular bar was 75. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I guess the answer is try to run the code independently on each single one. I don't know what that, maybe it has something to do with the, what would it be? What would that problem be? Maybe the slight delay. I don't even know, man. Maybe the timing difference between the lead account and then perpetuating the trade. But that should make sense because the order was already in and it exceeded the order. I don't know. Like, it would make more sense to me if it was some form of a race condition where, like the trade just didn't get put in, but the trade was in, as in the profit was in. It exceeded the profit line and didn't get that fill. What the fuck, dude?
Order filled.
And now it's, what the fuck? I don't even know what it's doing now. What the fuck is going? Well, now this is just purely on these sim accounts. Short entry based off what? I don't even know at this point. These are the take profits are trading again. Are they even allowed to keep trading? I have no idea what these fuckers are doing. Apparently something is live that I don't know what is live, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, something is fucked up with the copier because these 50K accounts are being led by the Sim 50K. That's the lead account. And this one is flat. And these ones are now actively in a trade. So you're going to have to riddle me that one. You're going to have to riddle me that one of how the lead account is flat and then these accounts are actively in a trade. That makes no fucking sense. With a target all the way up there. What is going on today? That makes truly no fucking sense whatsoever. Dude, these ones took on a mind of their own. The lead account is closed out. And then these ones are like, yeah, we're just going to fucking rip it. Dude. Oh, fuck. I don't think this is a strategy issue at this point. I think this is actually how the strategy is being applied issue. Because the fact that this got its fill, but then didn't give me the fill, I guess what I'll attempt tomorrow is I guess I'll give it an attempt of, what will I guess running the code individually on each account rather than using the trade copier with a lead account. Maybe that's the workaround, because the fact that the lead account got the fills, but then the following accounts didn't, that's, I guess, my major assumption here. I guess. I don't know. That's fucking so stupid, these goddamn data issues. So fucking dumb. That's weird. Mine worked, but only, yeah. Fuck, dude. I could see that it's worked. The fact that it didn't get its fills, though, is fucking insane. That's actually fucking crazy to me. And then this one is saying these all went rogue on it, but somehow they're now up money, dude. Your guess is as good as mine. So I think what I'll do is tomorrow I'll attempt to. Oh yeah, I guess that's my workaround is I'll try to run them all independently, and then I'm also gonna have to review today's. I'll review it tick by tick, but I'm thoroughly confused about how I didn't get a fill. Like thoroughly confused. Doesn't the setup video to the trade copier say not to lead with the SIM account? I don't know that. It very well might. But remember the other issue we saw where if you were doing market orders to get out, the SIM account was getting the right one. And not even the SIM. The lead account was getting the improper fill. And then all the other accounts were getting the proper fill on those. Like, remember, what was it? It was either Monday or Friday where there was a pop at 10 and all the follow accounts got the right fill, but then the lead account got the worst fill. And it seemed like some sort of weird data thing where maybe these sim defundants were like intentionally giving you the fucked fill on these like data events. Interesting. Yeah, like it honestly just makes me torn on what is better. I'm really torn on should we be using these followed accounts and those are the main ones, or should everyone be its own lead account and then the code applied to that? Oh, it's interesting. That's fucking interesting. Very interesting. And what's crazier it should have gone short at 932 and it should still be in that short position. But I think because yeah, dude, this is all sorts of fuck today. So this flipped it. It should have gone short at 932 here. It should be holding this short position. And instead, it has a random amount of orders to sell for. Dude, this is all types of foobar. All types of foobar. Yeah, this got completely fucked today. So this one should be holding a position, a short position from 23,223. It's the same trade that you guys saw yesterday, the VWAP breakdown. The bar broke right below VWAP. It should be short at the opening right here. These ones should be currently holding a short position from 23,223, and it should have been able to make, like, it would have locked in one. But even that, like how bad that fill was. What the fuck, dude? I think it actually all went as wrong as it possibly could have today. That's an interesting opening. All right, so that gives me an idea of what to do. I think I need to once again reinstall the global variable to check for position, and then maybe on those other ones, ensure that it's out by the end of the minute. Don't even give it more than a minute. Is that really the way I want to do it, though? That's interesting. Because, like, make sure that it's past, like, it's not allowed to be in. Okay, so I don't know. I've been hearing about this new software called Trade Syncer. Right now, for any of you who are curious, you know that I use Apex Trade Copier, and the reason I used it was because it was literally the first one that I found. The very, very first one I've ever found was called Apex Trade Copier. I installed it. It seemingly worked. And it's been, I don't know, maybe not the best ride. And I, at the time, like, dude, I've had it forever. I didn't know if it was the best. I didn't know if it was the worst. I just used it because I thought, I didn't even think to look for other ones. It was the first one that I found, and I've used it. And obviously today it's shown a serious amount of issues. So then that makes me wonder, that makes me really, really wonder if there's a, well, I guess I could ask you guys, do you know of any trade copier that's better? The new one that I see people talking about is called Trade Syncer. Something like this. I haven't used it. I don't know anything about it. Is this it? Is this it? Allegedly the best trade copier software, advanced cloud-based trade copier for future stating, instantly copies, blah, 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 blah. Apparently it trade copies across everything. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with it. I haven't used it. I don't know anything about it. It is just what I'm seeing people talk about right now. Does anyone have any experience with this? Obviously, I'm very much in the market of a different trade copier because that was fucking bullshit. That was such horseshit. Dude, and the worst part is it would be holding this short still. It would have locked in this gain. Look at this. I'll show you what, this is what should be going on right here. It went long, locked in the profit. I guess went short, target short, runner short, locked in right there. This is where it should be at. I should be up $1,000. Like, this is the lead account in the top right of your screen. I should be up $1,000, $860. Like, this is what the strategy is saying to do. It's fucking, dude, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. It's one thing where it just goes bust and then you have to just take it. The fact that it, like, look at it. This is the strategy. It's locked in $530 and has another $550 running. That is the strategy. And yet I'm fucking sitting here with everything in the red, even though the actual strategy is up 1,100. Dude, this is going to drive me up a fucking wall. Like, fuck, dude. That's just brutal. That's actually fucking brutal. Up $1,000, and yet you're sitting here with it all just completely fucking torched. I use Replano, but pretty sure it's a reskin of Apex Trade Copier. Interesting. Does anyone else have any suggestions of the copiers like that are worthwhile? Obviously, this is going to piss me off to no end. The system is up $1,000. This is the lead account. I'll even show you. Here's my copier right here. Boom, right there. Sim 150, Sim 150. This is the lead account. I'll even show you this. The strategies that I'm running it on right here. Top two. I'm running it on Sim 150, Sim 150, Sim 50. So this one is flat. Actually, so the worst performance is down 170 right here, the two systems. And then up here, 150, 150, this is up 870. So I am sitting here where half of my systems should be down 170. The other half should be up 900 and counting. And instead, I'm sitting with everyone fucked to Kingdom Come. Like, dude, this is so fucking frustrating. So incredibly frustrating. To have the system, to run it, to be up money. Dude, it makes me want to rip my fucking hair out. Like, that's so fucking brutal. You guys saw it all in real time. You're seeing the numbers. I'm showing it to you. The systems are there. 150, 150, 50, 50. You saw that I put on the copier. Here's the 150 got applied to the 150s. The 50s got applied to the 50s. Everything working or set up accordingly. Here are the numbers. The 50s down 170. The 150 is up 660. And I'm sitting there with the evals blown out. Like, fucking riddle me that. Oh, fucking globalists, man. The goddamn globalists. They'll do anything. I need to... Okay, so what would be... So instead of fucking complaining about it, what is the workaround? My knee-jerk reaction is that the workaround is letting the systems run all independently. Wait, so someone said that Apex trade copier lead sim. Is this my issue? Does it say to not use the sim account? Yeah, that might be it. Is this my problem? Whoever made that suggesting sim. Do not. All right. The cross option allows you to cross a mini to a micro contract. Always trade off the mini chart and cross to a micro as desired. Do not trade off of a micro chart and cross to a mini. Do not use a demo or sim account as your leader unless you are doing crossover. Fuck. Fuck it. Dude. Fuck. Just fuck a duck, dude. Fuck a duck. That's well, that's a tough pill to swallow, folks. That is a tough pill to swallow. Fuck, dude. That's crazy. Dude, I think I'm on the worst bad beat streak known to fucking man. Jesus. What a fucking obscure dumbass thing for them to have. And I guess technically that is on me. I guess I should have gone through in fucking extraordinarily hyper detailed reading of that. That's crazy. Why would that matter now? I don't know. You guys, I have no idea why that would prompt a technical issue or a shit fill. I don't know. All I know is I used it. Those got their fill. As you can see here, the worst account should be down 170. The other account should be up 475 right now. And yet I'm seeing red. And as someone in here pointed out that I guess in their PDF, Jesus, dude. That's crazy. At least you got it figured out before just buying a new copier. Well, maybe that's figured out. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I guess what I'm going to do is go to the tick replay after stream today and try to figure out, I don't know why it didn't get its fill. I don't understand when you're trading a sim account, if it hits the value you want, how are you not getting a fill? If it exceeds the value you want, how are you not getting a fill? I'm hoping, based on that it is just something with the copier and sim accounts. But why would that be the problem? It's all fucking sim. If you're on an eval, if you're on a funded account, they're all fucking sim accounts. Why in the world would there be a difference in the different type of sim accounts? From a technical perspective, they're all sim accounts. Evals are. Funded accounts are. They're all. I just don't get it. Aren't sim accounts have a built-in delay? No, not necessarily. But why male models? Dude, this is going to drive me fucking nuts. From a computer science programming background, I truly have no idea why different sim accounts would behave differently. It's to screw us like they did you. But I'm trying to even figure that out. How would they know, what would they possibly be doing? with the other sim account leading to screw you over. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand how on a sim account you could get a fill, but then different sim accounts don't give you the fill. Matt, switch to, what the hell is this one? So you guys are pitching me a new one? What is this one? So I've heard about Trade Syncer. A couple people in chat have been saying this. Hi, Replicanto, NinjaTrader add-on for Flowbots. Here you can test to the exclusive remote mode feature. What the fuck is this? It's just another copier? Remote credit super DOM column? I don't quite know what I'm looking at right here. How much does it cost? It could be $300. The first and most reliable NinjaTrade copier. Follower guard, crossover, import, export, stealth mode. I guess there's a trial, so I could just try it out and see if I like it. Indicator, super DOM columns, trade copier. Yeah, I'll look into it. Okay. I don't really know. So this one is Replicanto, and then you guys have been suggesting that, and then also the one I've been hearing about lately is called Trade Syncer. I don't know if either are good, if they are both good. I don't know which one's better. I don't know which one's worse. I am not endorsing these. I'm just saying the one I have right now is apparently dog shit. But I should add in the caveat that it might be because of me. It also might be because I was leading it with a certain sim account. Dude, now it's getting cracked. All right, well, this 4 hours testing again after, do we technically hit a new high? All right, let's set some of this up. Yeah, we did technically hit a new all-time high, and now we are getting hit. Oh, no, we didn't. Sorry, scratch that. SPX was off from the all-time high. Barely. Barely, like there's a little bit of sunlight right there. A little bit of sunlight. Little bit of sunlight. And that's about it. That's crazy. But we are getting pushed back to the top of the transition zone. Don't be surprised if support is found somewhere in here between the top of the transition zone, the high of yesterday, and the close of yesterday, somewhere between 6,309 and 6,320. This would, if I were looking for a bounce, this would be the first place that I'm looking for a bounce. So I'm checking that out. 5-minute is now bearish. 10-minute is now bearish. Even the 30-minute is potentially breaking down, so be careful on that particular front. On the NASDAQ, the 5-minute is breaking down. The 10-minute is breaking down. The 4-hour is still bullish, but the 30-minute is even potentially cracking. So momentum not necessarily going the way all the bulls would like to see it, especially on the fact that we almost hit a new all-time high. The options are diving ever since 940. So we got a little bit of an uptick. Dead. Mag 7, a little bit of an uptick, getting crushed now. So things had a bit of recovery till about 939. Dude, this, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. The fact that I could be up another 1,000, dude. That's just brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Son of a fucking bitch. That's a brutal one. That's going to be one that you wish you could have back. Dude, if this pukes from here and I like could have theoretically ridden it, I'm going to rip out my hair. If this ends up, and that's how it's going to go. Like the market gods have a very sick sense of comedy. And the fact that this should be riding it, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to puke now today. It's almost guaranteed that we will puke. Pretty much predestined. Going for the downside gap fill to the high from yesterday on SPY, 62973. 62973. That appears to be where we're heading. On SPX, the equivalent would be 6316. The daily chart, yeah, you can see. Here's the gap that I'm talking about. The difference between yesterday's high and today's low. There's a literal gap in the chart. I'm getting an alert on Soxel. Oh, Soxel's breaking down. Soxel taking out this recent low. You might want to be paying attention. What's going on in the semi? Apple, brutal turnaround. Coin turning. NVIDIA not doing much. Avago taking a bit of a breather off its all-time high. Palantir, same thing, bit of a breather. Actually, I wonder. I'm going to set up some alerts for potential reversals here. Edit alert, crossing up. All right, we'll save that. Is that alert working? Meta, chilling. Microsoft taking a bit of a breather, once again off the all-time high. Tesla, don't forget, reporting after the market closes today. So really, I would argue the intraday action doesn't matter at all, but it is holding decently at 333. We went over Microsoft. Netflix still getting hit. It really jumped down after its earnings, but it's been on the downturns for all of July now, actually breaking its 50 EMA. ASML, same thing ever since its earnings, continuing down and down. Soxel getting hit. Circle, not holding well. BITX, I thought it was going to break out yesterday on this Bitcoin push. Apparently a fake out, which sucks ass. Oh, MSTR, RUM, DJT, Qualcomm. Things are looking a little bit saucy this morning. All right. Did we get officially the downside gap fill? We tagged it on the SPY. There was no downside gap fill on the NASDAQ, just to be clear. There was a downside gap fill on the SPY. Makes me wonder if we're going to maybe attempt to bounce out of here now. Here's a look at the flow. The SPY getting hit from 940 down to 1001. The Mag 7, same thing, 940 to about now. It's gone flat. So maybe this is the first attempt of buyer stepping in. Maybe. NVIDIA is actually up the most on my watch list. Not looking necessarily the best. How's Tesla? Tesla's actually looking pretty decent intraday. We'll throw that up there. Apple is getting hit. Coin got hit, going flat. NVIDIA getting hit. Avago flat. Palantir flat. Meta up, down, flat. Microsoft down to flat. Netflix flat. ASML. I guess. Yeah, the interesting bullish opportunity intraday appears to be Tesla right now, clearly showing the most strength. Where was Palantir? Palantir's not looking bad necessarily. How's NVIDIA? Maybe getting a bounce. Soxel getting really messed up. Bitcoin not having the best overnight session. Oh, brother. What do we have here? The big guys aren't really doing much. A little bit of a... I really want Bitcoin back above 120,000. The overnight session was brutal for it. Are we getting some buyers stepping in here on the SPY now that they got that downside gap fill? Tagged it perfectly. Technically didn't hit it on SPX. So even though on SPY, the ETF created to track the S&P 500, even though we're seeing that, apparently there's still a little bit to be desired on SPX. We got as low as 6317.49, and the high from yesterday was 6319. So technically have not made a new all-time high, and also technically have not gotten this downside gap fill. So we're like kind of still awkwardly into that in between. And if you guys want to know how mad I am, I'm mad to the tune of $1,000 multiplied by 3 accounts, and I'm mad to the tune of having all the accounts on these 50Ks, but apparently they dude, fuck, man. My stress levels are way too fucking high. I picked the worst time to try to be a better person. I really did. To exercise more, diet properly, give up drugs and alcohol. I picked the worst time to try to be a better human. I really did. Like, not only did I get bad beats in terms of trading, I'm now getting bad beats of life. Like, the alignment of all these unanimous bad beats is fucking. Currently building a straightforward copier without the fancy crap it's not even that fancy at all. It's like literally turning shit on and turning shit off. It's just something about the fucking fills. Like, this seems to be more on I can't even comment on where I think the problem is, because the problem makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me that some sim accounts are getting a fill, but other sim accounts aren't. They're all fucking sim accounts. So I don't know if it's a Ninja issue. I don't know if it's a copier issue. I don't know if it's a sim defunded business. I don't know what's going on. But the fact that I should be up 1,300, this is the lead account, it is running it, like, blows my fucking mind. Blows my goddamn mind. We haven't gotten that fill yet. What are we looking at over here? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, what's Bookmap telling us? Well, Bookmap is saying that there are buyers attempting to step in over here at 23150. 23150. That would be a potential bounce. I'm just seeing a lot of sitting buy orders right there. Remember, what you're looking at right now is called Bookmap. The colorized things on top are the sitting sell orders. The colorized things on the bottom are the sitting buy orders. And then obviously this is the movement of just how the bid and the ask are changing in real time. The circle bubbles are the aggressive buys, and the green circles are the aggressive buys, and the red circles are the aggressive sells, as in traversing the bid either on the ask side, which is aggressive buying, or traversing the bid to the bids, or traversing the spread to the bid side, which is aggressive selling. So right here, there was just quite a bit of aggressive buying to break through these sitting sell orders. There's a chunk trying to get out at 23,180, and then we'll see if it holds. There's really nothing below, and if it does fall, right here is all the buying. It's all the way down like 25 points beneath us. So I kind of like this tool because it kind of gives you a better idea of, like, if you're going to go long, you wouldn't be going long here because you're not protected by much. Like, if you had that bullish bias, you'd want to do it as close to a key level as you possibly can. Same thing with selling. You wouldn't just arbitrarily sell here if, like, whatever. If you want to be bearish or if you're getting out, you'd want to target where people, at like actual traders, are positioned. So right now, you could argue we're kind of in no man's land, 10 points above, 10 points below. These are the sitting sell orders. These are the sitting buy orders. There's just not much going in right here. It's very, it's low liquidity above and below. So it's a different tool to identify these key levels. So it's called Bookmap. Like I said, I use it on NQ. You could use it on ES. You could use it on futures. You could use it on equities. You could really use it on whatever you want. If you want to check it out, it is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. If you use that link, it'll be magically way, way, way more affordable than just buying it outright. You're going to get some nice trial periods and some nice discounts by using that link pinned to the top of chat. Once again, it's called Bookmap. Matt, it is the copier. You can't have data from Apex and TPT at the same time, blows accounts. That's not true. That is not true, because that's not where the copier doesn't produce the data. It's just applying it to the different accounts. That's not how these copiers are working. The most compelling thing I saw was whoever pointed it out was saying that a sim account isn't allowed to lead, which doesn't make sense to me, because a sim account is a sim account. It doesn't make sense. Like, they're all inherently sim accounts. Like, none of these accounts are actually sending real orders to the market. They're all in a simulated environment. When are they going to axe pattern day trading? Probably the end of 2026. On trade copiers, make sure to check to see the max amount of contracts you can copy. Many of the max is 9. That was not my issue at all in this one. I wasn't exceeding the amount of contracts you could copy. What, like, the issue very much was The lead account thought it was done. The lead account put in a trade, hit its target, and thought it was done. That was not, I guess, perpetuated to the following accounts. That's the issue. The issue had nothing to do with the entry. All of them entered. The issue had to do with the exit, where the lead account thought it was out, as I showed you. I mean, just to drive this point home, right there. This is the lead account, right there. Entry, exit. Got back in, short, entry, exit. Currently holding a position, and that's like where it's at right now. So the sim account has one long trade, one long exit. One long short, got out of half the position, and it's now riding the other half of it. This is the lead account. This is the thing where the strategy is being applied. The strategy is being applied, and the strategy is up $880. This was clearly not copied over to the follow accounts for whatever reason that I just cannot discern for whatever fucking reason at this moment in time. But long entry, long exit. Short entry, short exit, carrying half of the short right now. This is a lead account. I haven't turned it off, and this is where I should be at. I should be up $1,200 per account right now. What the fuck, dude? How? And what's really confusing about it is some of them, like, this is what really confuses me here, is that some did get it. So this is a follow account on the screen right now. Actually, here, let me switch this. Maybe we can get a better idea. I really want to figure it out because basically I either need to reset up how this is working, or maybe I need a new copier. All right. So this is the confusing part. It did copy some. Okay, so right here, Sunrise entry copied 3, Sunrise entry copied 2. It got in at 61 and 61.25. So it's long 4. There's a group of 3, there's a group of 1, 3 plus 1 is 4. It got out of 2 of them. It got out of 1 at 63.5, 1 at 63.75. The target was 63.5. That was the target. So it's even more strange that I got to fill on some of them. Like, it went long 3, got out of 2, and then said, nah. Like, I just don't, I don't understand. I don't, it like half worked. Using a sim account to lead traffic, it might be seen as an attempt to bypass evaluation consistent rules designed to verify these skills. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck about that. That's stupid. So that actually has nothing to do with the actual functioning. Like, why would it, like, what explains the fact that I got half a fill? It's fucking sim trading. How did you not get half of it? Like, it's showing it there. I don't know. Blows my fucking mind. I'm sure it's somewhere, either it's just shit data in a general sense, or maybe it's like somewhere deep in their FAQ or why we signed the disclosures of like, hey, yeah, you just understand that sometimes you're going to have like shit fucking code and you're going to have to deal with it. That could be it. Hey, Matt, got approved by my first payout on Apex yesterday. Currently up 3,400 on my first 50K PA account. Owe this all to you. You're the best. Keep your head up. Hey, massive congrats, man. That's all your success. Sometimes NinjaTrader doesn't show the correct markers and order placement on the chart. It is better to look at the execution orders tab and filter by account. Okay, orders. So you're saying filter by account. So right here. Okay, so filled. So right here, It started off the day market filled for at in between 60 and 60.75 and 71. Okay. And then it tried to sell one of these. So this is what I don't get. It sold one of the four. Then it had three right here. Limit of one, limit of three. And it got out of one of these three right here, filled one, even though it was a quantity of three. And it even knows that it was its profit target right there. And then it got all types of fucked up after that. But this is what I don't get right here, where it says remaining two. Why was there something remaining? I just don't understand this. It goes long four. It puts in the order to get out. And then it knows that it canceled it. Canceled, remaining two. I don't understand. So it got out of one, got out another one with a remaining two. Like, fucking why? Like, how is this just not a larger fill? No, three was not. Pavel, do you know how to fucking read remaining two right here? It filled four. Got another fill right here. This is the fill column. Filled four, long four, sold one of them, remaining two. What I don't get is how we're not all four filled, like on this first fill, on the second fill. Like, why is it partitioned out like that? It even knows it. Profit target copied, profit target copied, copied, right there. The ones above this don't matter because this is where shit got broke. So I'm only focusing on these first three rows. But went long four, filled again. But on the filled again, it was only one of the three, remaining two. Why? And then what it should have looked like. This is how it, no. Well, this is how this one worked. Filled seven, long seven, filled one, filled six, done. Great. The other one, the first one that I was showing you that it should have looked like was right here. Filled four, long four, target one, target three, profit target, filled. I don't understand what the fuck happened. Because the system worked. It got its money. It got its fill. It moved on with its life. And Jesus Christ. That's brutal. That's a tough pill to swallow. Very, very tough pill to swallow. A limit order for a sell can't sit higher than the price. It would have to be a stop limit, right? Right-click the chart above. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to drive me up a fucking wall. How are you not understanding this? There should not be liquidity issues because it's a SIM account. The price got filled. It got hit. The SIM account leading it got its fill. Dude, Pavel, I have no idea what you're possibly misunderstanding in this. A stop limit is a stop limit is a limit order. Dude, you're saying the same thing. Limit is literally in the fucking name. Jesus, dude. You're driving me up a fucking wall. I don't understand what you're not getting about this. Some of the accounts got the fill. In fact, the accounts that did get the fill still got a partial fill. The fact that didn't get an entire fill is fucking insane given the fact that they are SIM accounts. It's not a liquidity issue. It's an order. Dude, shut up. What the fuck are you not? How could it be? Explain how it could be an order issue when some of them got filled. Like, what are you not understanding, dude? Like, what part of this is going over your fucking head? It is a profit target. The profit target got held. Clearly, it can't be a liquidity issue when it's fucking sim defunded. Dude, some people, you just, as much as you bash their head into the fucking wall, they just don't understand it. Check the chart, please. Right-click the chart below, current price, and see what it shows. Dude, it got up. Am I the fucking crazy? Do other people understand what's going on? Is he the only dumb fucking one? Or am I like just not explaining it properly? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, either you're the only one in the entire audience not understanding this, or I guess I'm fucking taking crazy pills. But it seems as if the other people truly understand that, hang on, it's weird he got a partial fill in a sim account when the other sim trades didn't get a filled, even though it hit. Like, dude, you have to be the only one not fucking understanding this. Like, you have to be. It's all a simulation, Matt. That's how it fucking feels right now. Like, holy shit, dude. I like something about this is going so far over your head that it's like actually concerning. Your link to Bookmap is the same price if you don't. Oh, because like now it's stored in your cookies. Venomous. Now it's applied to your cookies, so that's what cookies are. Had you gone to that before clicking it, no, you'd have to pay more. LOL, I give up. You should give up. You 100% should give up, Pavel. Did it place the fill so fast that it didn't have time to place the limit? No, it did place it because we saw it. You could rewind the stream. The order was sitting there. Like it knew the order was there. So it had nothing to do with the entry. The entry was good, and the entry was applied to all accounts. The exit order was good. The issue was that it got a partial fill on some accounts, and it got a full fill on the lead account. So the lead account thought it was all good. The lead account, which is directing this for everything, said, hey, good, awesome, fill, done, on to the next trade. And the follower accounts were basically like, wait, what? What is going on? Because like the follow accounts, their actual positions were still live, but the lead account was good. The lead account got its fill. Matt, you don't understand what the problem is. Dude is just raging at viewers. No, I'm raging at people who like don't understand what the problem is, even though I'm explaining it to you. Like I think a 6-year-old would understand what the problem is. The lead account got its fill and moved on. And inherently, that's now incongruent with the follow accounts that still were in a position, even though it was only a partial position. Sim accounts simulate everything, including liquidity and order books. If the price moves too fast, the order book limit sell is canceled. It tells you it got canceled on the executions page. That was afterwards, you dumb fuck, dude. That was after the accounts blew out. That's why they're canceled. Of course they're canceled. Look at the time on it. Once again, how in the world is there liquidity issues on sim trading? Sim trading, and you're trying to tell me it's liquidity issues? You really think that there's liquidity issues on fake fucking trading, on paper trading, as in there. Dude, oh my god, dude.
Order submitted.
What the fuck is this? Oh, it's because of the copier over here. Pavel, I don't know if you're like intentionally going for the award, but you're definitely getting the award of the dumbest fucking person of the day. Like 100% you are getting it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I don't know why you'd be happy to be getting this award of the dumbest person of the day, but here you go. I have to manually close some accounts with the Apex copier each time. Something's I don't know if it's off with that the problem could be the copier. But the copier
Order submitted.
The copier did put what just happened here. Here's the one. And now this is actually long. That doesn't make sense. It is long 3, so it added on an extra contract that it shouldn't be in. So it basically just cut that. The copier, to be fair, did put in the order. Like, we saw it. Like, in the stream, the copier did have in the order. Like, it was sitting there exactly as it should have been. So I actually, the more that I think about it, I actually don't think it's the copier issue. Oh my God, another dumb fuck. Dude, you're so pissed off for no reason. Check your strategy settings, fix your slippage settings, and check it to fill limit order on touch. Dude, that's not the problem. Why is it that most people in here can understand the issue, and then there's a couple few who think they're so right and yet are just so clearly fucking stupid to understand that it doesn't make sense when you're trading multiple contracts on a sim account that some are getting filled and others aren't. This isn't like some big brain thing to understand. Your argument would make more sense if none of them got filled and you're like, oh, do it on touch or something. What doesn't make sense when you're trading multiple contracts is for some to be filled in a sim environment and for others to not be filled. That's the part that doesn't make sense at the exact same value. Dude, the fact that this is over some of your heads it's actually legitimately concerning. Like, actually legitimately concerning. Like, holy fuck, guys. That's the weird thing, because it's sim. It has no impact on liquidity. These platforms are not advanced enough to be doing sim trades against liquidity. Like, they just literally do not have the technology to do this. This has nothing to do with like a liquidity problem. This is exactly why I only buy XRP. That's actually pretty funny. I'm trying to help you. Everybody's trying to help and not trolling you. You can ask AI about it, simulating everything. Dude, Pavel, you're not fucking getting it. I'd actually respect you more if you were trolling, because this just says that you're actually just fucking stupid. Like, it would make more sense if you were rage baiting, because like whatever, then that's classic internet humor. The fact that you are still to this point allegedly trying to help, but you're just still not understanding the issue is actually insane. Yeah, like truly, truly insane. It would make way, way, way more sense if you're just like, yeah, no, I'm just trolling with you to like fuck off. That would make way more sense. But just so you know, the strategy, which is now only being applied to this sim account, well, why is it being applied to these accounts? That doesn't make sense. It's now long, and it seems to be off by one contract as well. Crashing out because but he's arguing he's not rage baiting. That's the issue here, is that he thinks he's having like actual useful, intelligent commentary. Ripple Labs is actually the creator of Dark Pools. Maybe I should just buy fucking Ripple. Do you know how much easier my life would be as a content creator if every single day I just made videos about how good XRP is? People love those fucking videos. They're addicted to those videos. I thought back in the day people were addicted to like fucking squeeze videos related to GameStop and AMC. And they were to a certain degree, but it pales in comparison to people's addiction to fucking XRP videos. Google are partial fills simulated on NinjaTrader. I think you just mean Google partial fills. NinjaTrader offers setting to simulate partial fills for testing purposes, although the behavior might not. But what does this have to do with the actual trading? Enforce partial fills option. Understand that when enabled, orders will always get partially filled if disabled. This is a testing thing. What does that have to do with anything? Partial fills. Enforced partial. This feels like more of like a robustness testing. I would need the calendar. Yeah. If you call cancel order on a partially filled will be canceled. Please let me know. This feels partial fills. I have a question regarding partial fills on SIM accounts. That's right. Enclose the screenshot of some basic login, blah, 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 blah. You can adjust simulation partial fills. Once again, this is like just simulating for like the robustness of what your strategy would be. I'll go through more of the forum. Like the forum itself can be a little thick to get through. How to avoid. What is this one? There's not an option to disable partial fills through NinjaScript. Since we cannot control how orders handle once they leave NinjaTrader into a live scenario, we do not have an option to avoid partial fills for this SIM account. This is, once again, this is just simulating though. That's simulating, like as in your historic data, is different than a SIM account. Yeah, I mean, this seems boring, so I'll go through it or try to figure out. But remember, simulation, like simulated trading and data is different than a SIM account. A SIM account is just going to be another word for like bullshit, just like paper trading. Not this SIM, like whatever, enforced partial fills, that type of stuff. That's more of like historic back testing and a way for you to, I suppose, in a general sense, like kind of, it helps you historically on SIM data actually attempt to try to simulate liquidity problems, which are obviously something you'd have to consider in real trading. So that's like a bit of the difference there. Step 1, make XRP videos. Step 2, advertise video on Facebook. Step 3, sell ads targeted to people over the age of 60. Step 4, retire. You made enough money. I don't know if over 60 would work on XRP. Your sweet spot would probably be like 15 to 20. I don't think 60-year-olds are necessarily buying XRP. We got a little bit of a pop there. Got a little bit of a pop there. Well, unfortunately, the chart is still messed up because the SPY got its downside gap fill, but reminder that the SPX still has not. SPX got close. It got basically within a point, but it technically didn't get the downside gap fill. So once again, SPY did, SPX didn't, and there was no downside gap on the Qs, just so everyone knows. But I am liking the pop in Bitcoin. I'd prefer if this said 123,000, but hey, we'll take 118. At least it's better than 117. You think it's young boomers love XRP? Is that true? I thought XRP was dominated by like Gen Z. Is that at like, really? Can we confirm or deny that? The same thing for Rhythmic. With Apex, they are all in SIM accounts for their system. Dude, no shit. They're all... Oh, my God. Holy fuck, dude. If you don't take profits, the bots will. Why are you continually making a difference between swim data and real market data? Although the accounts are SIMs, Apex uses real market data. That's what I'm attempting to say, is that it's not SIM. I was told to Google it, Google like SIM, and all the Google forum stuff related to like simming historic data, as in replaying it on old data and simulating a play out. Like, and I think the confusion is the fact from like the word's the same, but it's talking about two distinct things. Both my mods, boomers, love XRP. Really? Oh yeah, boomers are deep in XRP. I'm 50 and I have 6,000 XRP. I did not know that. 5 minute, 10 minute are bearish. 30 minute is kind of neutral. It's right at that test point on ES. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute on NQ are all in fact bearish. We have not gotten that downside gap fill. It would be really, really tough for me to do a day trade in the bullish direction without first getting that downside gap fill. So that's where I would be looking once again on SPX. On the daily chart, it's kind of messed up looking. We have this gravestone doji, which then led to a bearish reversal followed by a bullish reversal. And now we just have this like island top type of a situation without the downside gap fill. On the daily chart, I was really hoping that this pickup in Bitcoin was going to lead to a breakout of the all-time high.
Order canceled.
What are we at now? Now it's in 4 contracts. Well, this definitely is not right. That's definitely fucking not right. It should be short 2. But we'll see how it goes. Oh, here's a look at Bookmap. Well, first of all, the big guys are slight buyers as of today, but nothing too crazy at the moment. And then let's go back over to NQ. Oh, look at that. Bounce right off of 23,150. Somewhat of an important psychological level. But if anything, that's just a lot of sitting buy orders. You can see the DOM over here. Boomers are too busy protesting to buy XRP. The accounts are SIM, so still get a partial fill because of live data. That doesn't make sense. The accounts are SIM, so still get partial fill because of live data. But because they're SIM, if your target or your stop is hit, the order should be executed because they are not in a SIM environment accounting for liquidity. Like, what in the world? Like, your statement is just so fucking dumb. You're saying because the accounts are SIM, they're getting partial fills because of live data, as in what? Live accounts then what? Don't get partial fills? This is just actually devolving into nonsense. Like actual straight up crazy talk. Actual straight up crazy talk. What is interesting is Tesla is holding up pretty decently as we head into earnings. If you are playing Tesla, if you have a position on Tesla, especially a short-term position on Tesla, please do not forget that it is trading or it's going to have its earnings after the market closes today. I could give you here. Let me give you the expected move. The expected move, let me log back in. The expected move on old Tesla is 6.14%. So 6% move on old Tesla. If we were to close roughly at this value, you're either talking up to 353 or potentially down to 313. Seems to be roughly where we're at. So basically $20. $20 up, $20 down. That's basically what we are dealing with. Okay, got a question for someone. I closed at 26K and opened at 26K, then dropped to 24K. I know 25K is the requirement for no day trade limit, but can day trade since I was above it and closed open? Yeah, it's based on, well, at least for the brokerages that I've used, it's based on your market open value. So the brokerages that I've used, intraday trading, I haven't been moved to violating pattern day trading. It matters where your account like starts out. Pavel, the data is live, but the SIM account traders are SIM and only effect on execution is latency. Yeah, it all that matters is did a level get hit or not. Which I don't know, is seemingly over many people's heads right now. But Bitcoin, I would love for that to keep going. maybe can we get back to 120 by the end of the day? Dude, look at this sell-off that happened overnight. Just from 120 straight down to 118, a little bit of a pop, and then a puke down to 117. Like, just straight selling. Attempting to recover right now. I like it above 118, but every 1,000 is a big win. What was this? Ask Google, can sim trading accounts that use live data suffer from partial fills? Dude, obviously the answer is yes. I showed it to you. My accounts. Dude, oh my God. Pavel, what the fuck are you not understanding? Like, what is going on in this conversation that is miles above your fucking head, dude? Clearly the answer to that is yes, because my own account showed you that today. I showed you in real time. Everyone saw it. Thousands of people fucking saw it. And you're coming through like that's a big brain statement. No shit, dude. Welcome to being on the same chapter we're all in. Since then, the conversation has progressed to the point of how in the fuck does that make sense when it's a sim account? Dude, welcome to the conversation, dude. Like, it only took you, what, an hour and 10 minutes to finally fucking get here. Oh my fucking God, dude. I think the light bulb just went on in his head. He's like, oh, they are, no one's disagreeing that it can get partial fills. Clearly just occurred. Like, literally in front of your face, just occurred. No one disagrees with that. Like, what the fuck? States something that we all like witnessed with our own eyes an hour ago. He's like, oh, that's what you guys are talking about. Amazing. Uncanny, some would say. Unfucking canny. The options flow is actually pretty flat on both now. We got a little bit of a pop for the first 10 minutes, then it sold off, now flat. This is for the Mag 7. This is for the, actually the Nasdaq's a bit weaker. And then, let me log back in on this. Let me log in on this. And then here's it for the SPY. Pop, drop, now flat. Individually, Tesla, really choppy, no clear directions. NVIDIA sold off, now flat. Palantir just sold off. Microsoft, flat, sold off, popped right back up. Apple selling off throughout the day. Netflix also getting hit. MSTR just getting hit. Meta, pop, big drop. Meta's actually grinding up now. Avago, AVGO, pop until about 10, now getting hit. And then AMD, little pop, gave it back pretty much. The one that seemed to have the strongest trend right now was slightly Meta, trying to grind up. But it's anti this movement. Yeah, we're not. There's too much positive gamma, as we pointed out early. Like this, like the chance of today being that big moving day is like, that's way too much positive gamma. As we go up, market makers are going to sell. As we go down, market makers are going to buy. That's a lot of positive gamma. A lot of positive gamma. Get back to the market news. There's not much market news. Does each trade log as a separate trade? Technically, it does. The orders are logging as separate orders, which is going to be accounting for if you get these partial fills. Well, at least Pavel gave you superpowers. At least you can now drive up walls. You know what? That's the silver lining. That is the silver lining. Y'all like Krispy Kreme? I saw CNBC was trying to put Krispy Kreme as a new meme play. I'm 60 and own about 20K in crypto. I do trade XRP, but I don't have any money invested. Most of mine are in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Most of my friends don't believe in crypto yet. I'm a big believer in Bitcoin. I'm on the fence of any other. How are they calling this a meme when it literally is just getting its first pop like ever. Oh, wait, speaking of that, how are the other ones? Proc. Oh, no. Who could have ever predicted that? What's the other one? BMNR. Oh, no. Who could have ever predicted that? Oh, no. Who could have ever predicted that? Folks, do you ever notice the exact same patterns in these ones that we are told are going to squeeze to kingdom come and are going to bring Wall Street to its knees? Feels like the exact same pattern every single fucking time. Every single time. And yet, people are still getting surprised. Like, I just didn't know. I didn't know that it would be coming down. I would actually argue that PHH was a bit different. The insiders just dumped it. That one didn't even have the chance. That didn't have that had that grind up and then one big sell. It didn't have the blow off top like Workhorse or Proc or BMNR or what's another one that people like. I mean, Open is the most recent one. Folks, I told you what to look for. Look for the first red day, taking out the recent lows. That happens. Look for the volume exhaustion. Look at that. Volume ripped, dying. It's donezo. Before you know it, I don't know when, but I would bet a short amount of time, this thing is going to be back at $1, as in the bears are going to make a 57% return on this. The difficult thing about it isn't the trade. It's actually finding the shares to borrow. That's going to be the hard thing, is getting the, it's probably hard to borrow. Let's look at it. Is this my account? What was it? Open. It might be hard to borrow. That's actually, no. Apparently, it might be on certain brokerages. 32% short, 603 million. 15% cost to borrow, utilization 95%. It might be right now cost to borrow. Remember when you look at the CTB, the cost to borrow, that's the annual rate. It is not the daily rate. Yeah, so people are getting into it now. Today, thus far in day 1046, they've borrowed 18 million and 3 million has been returned. So people are, and even yesterday, people were borrowing against it, but the utilization isn't maxed out. I bet it is still difficult. You can see that people are trying to bet against it. Simulated short interest is 32%. No, it's a good trade. I would definitely be on the bearish side myself instead of the bullish one. Higher low on open door. How's this a higher low? Are you talking about intraday? No.
Order canceled.
What? What's the account doing now? Why would it do that? Oh, because it's starting to freak out here. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It's so frustrating how this has played out. Oh, brother. All right. I don't think, the more we've chatted about this, Ninja Trader, sell all on partial. I don't want partial. Taking partial profits on half a contract. Take profit. Close partial position. Set a profit target and stop loss order. User specified. How to partial close ATM strategy at market orders. How to partial close ATM strategy at market orders. How do I close just one contract quickly? Usually adjust profits, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what I want. Partial fills considered separate trades in real trading, but as one in history. That's stupid. How to automatically close partial positions with a stop strategy. Might be somewhere in there. Oh, golly. Who knows these days? Who freaking knows? Unfortunately, I still don't see that good of an opportunity to go long because we still haven't gotten that downside gap fill on SPX. Today might just be like kind of a bust of a day. Nothing that exciting. It's just so much positive gamma. So much positive gamma. We're just surrounded by purple everywhere we look. Little bits of a baby amount of note, but they're also kind of far away. Like, it's just a lot of positive gamma. Lot of positive gamma. So maybe I'll try to figure that if I don't think it's really the copier issue, maybe what you need to do, maybe this is crazy, but what if the strategy, I bet there's a way where if there's a partial fill, you market order the rest. As soon as one gets filled, you might be able to market the rest of them. Maybe that is the workaround. Oh, hang on. This might get a little smackarood here. People trying to sell at 86 and people trying to sell at 95. And then the point of control is whatever, 23175. It's this yellow line. And now this is frozen. Oh, I'm surprised I haven't seen that issue before. Honestly, the reason I most likely haven't seen that issue before is most of my code is only trading a contract or at most two. It is very, very rare that I come up with a good enough reason to trade more than two contracts. Very, very rare. This is actually just completely frozen right now. Well, that's not good. Why is it frozen? So my Chrome is frozen? Or is it just... Oh, there we go. There we go. It's starting to wake back up, I suppose. Flat. Qs are picking up. I think it caught this
Target
position.
filled.
Yeah, I was going to say it caught this position. Hang on. We don't need that. We don't need this. Yeah, it is for some reason long 3 contracts right now, which it should not ever be trading 3. At most, it should be trading 2. Different strategy, but basically, regardless of the amount of contracts, it's more important that it fired long. The NASDAQ is starting to pick up. Mag 7 grinding to the upside. S&P 500 maybe a little bit of an uptick. I would argue more so flat. 5-minute, 10-minute is bearish. 30-minute attempting to save itself off this EMA. 5-minute, 10-minute, and 30-minute all bearish on the NASDAQ. Actually, almost it basically saved itself from disaster right here. Another bounce off the 50 EMA on the 4-hour. Oh, the ES didn't even really get close to that. So ES is actually looking stronger right here. You have these lower highs. That actually could be an interesting trade in itself right here for my swing traders. Watching for that trend line break. Excuse me. Something like this. Might be worthwhile to set up that alert. Like I said, pretty decent swing trade. Do we see that on? No, we don't see that over here. So ES is a little bit of divergence there in the price structure. A little bit of divergence. Little bit of divergence. Oh, fuck a duck. Partial fills. Are we missing any breaking news? It feels like it's kind of a quiet day here. Feels like it's a bit of a quiet day. Americans give Trump highest approval rating in months despite fallout from the Epstein witch hunt. Interesting. Interesting, if you say so. You aren't going to have a calculator in your pocket, 90s teachers. Oddly, that is how the teachers in the 90s did look. Oddly enough. Oddly enough. That's a deep cut. There's no such thing as loyalty these days. Fucking going full emo on us. Going full emo on us. Are you guys seeing any interesting breaking news besides the fact that these are funny? Austin Powers, that's such a good movie. Such a good movie. Crew has 9 eatings to eat 99 hot dogs and drink 99 beers. Jesus, that's a lot. I hope there's many people doing that. Not even really seeing anything interesting on the feed this morning. Grind. We're getting that grind back up. It's up 800. Oh. Matt went back to the boot photo as a Dolphin. Dude, I'm just a big fan of the Dolphins. Sue me. A little bit of an uptick in the Delta there. A little bit of an uptick. What else? Not much overall. I'm a little sketched out because we didn't get the downside gap fill. But some bulls are stepping in. So that's obviously something fair to consider. Why can't Bitcoin just explode? Like, why can't it just rip 119, 120? Like, I just want 10 minutes of this thing ripping like 5K. Is that really too much to ask for at this juncture? Technically, we did get the 30-minute breakdown. Technically. Oh, now that I'm really thinking out loud about this issue, maybe the workaround is only trading one contract. Because if you're inherently only trading one contract, you then can't get partial fills. That wouldn't make sense. Maybe I just need to make a bunch of strategies that have one contract fills. Maybe. Or here's an interesting workaround. Hear me out. This one's going to sound a little crazy at first. But what if you are trading multiple contracts? The second you get any fill, even like one of how many ever contracts you have, the stop then gets set to break even. That could be another way to do it. Happy effing anniversary, sweetheart. LO. Could you please take a look at the chart or text tickers ENVX and give me your honest thoughts per purely technical perspective? ENVX. Looks pretty bullish to me. At least in the short term. This is, be careful though, because this is where it's been rejected before. I mean, the longer term chart, this looks like dog shit. Lower highs, lower lows. It's trending down, but it does look like it's at least going for some sort of technical breakout here. Depending on like where you draw it. How does it look here? I mean, as an active trade, it feels like the bulls are pushing it. From how the charts behaved, I don't have any particular interest in investing in this one, but let's get rid of this. Remove. I mean, technical breakout, comes back, tests. it is chasey, but also if you're disciplined enough to use 1360 as your risk, 1480, it's $1.20 risk. I mean, I don't like this chart at all, but when I zoom in and pay attention to what's really been happening over the past year, I see what's going on. I mean, it must have had good earnings. It popped, it broke, it pulled back, hit there. If I had to trade, I wouldn't invest in this, but if I had to trade it, I would trade it bullish. And if I had to trade it right now, my risk would basically just be this trend line, and then I'd be praying for this breakout. It's roughly 1-to-1 for the test, which I like. And then from there, if it does break, and this ends up not being a double top, obviously from a technical perspective, I would then be watching the high 18s. That's what Bitcoin, a little bit of a pop. NQ's a little bit of a pop. We'll see how this one plays out. Damn, dude. Is there any more news coming out, or is it just pre-earnings day chop? Probably closer to pre-earnings day chop. I mean, we're getting some, like, we're in earnings season, but we are getting some of these, the bigger boys reporting today, Tesla and Google. So the Nasdaq's definitely going to have a fun time after the market closes today. Any chance the SPY goes up to 635? Yeah, it's a low chance, but it's not impossible. Of course, it's not like that's like illegal. Of course that could happen. Of course. All right, I would watch 6330, quite a bit of open interest there. And then from there, you're talking about the all-time high at 6336. I do want to, I guess, let you guys know that I'm not the most stoked about the fact that we didn't get this downside gap fill. Not the most stoked about that. Mag 7 kind of grinding up. The NASDAQ kind of grinding up. And then the S&P 500 also kind of grinding up. So I'd be looking, the 5-minute is testing, the 10-minute is testing on the S&P 500, the ES contract, after saving itself on the 30-minute breakdown. The NASDAQ, the 5's about to test, but the 10-minute and especially the 30-minute have some work to do. But the Qs are about to go for the red to green test. Looks like I was able to catch this on 3 contracts here, up about 2.3K on this trade, the VWAP recapture. AI regulation, executive order, and presentation. Maybe moves it, maybe doesn't. Maybe moves it, maybe doesn't. Maybe. 5-minute, 10-minute testing, 5-minute testing, 10-minute, not far away from testing. If it gets back to this 940 high, 30-minute, definitely. For the 30-minute to go, we have to be basically to a new intraday high. But the work for the NASDAQ is obviously cut out for itself. I mean, we're basically talking, can it actually get going right here? Can it get going right here? All right, if you haven't already, remember on Apex, use that code GOONY to get 80% off. You have a day and a half left. And then if you want to track the DOM right here, this is the depth of market, and you can see where the sitting buy and sell orders are. Pretty cool tool. It's called Bookmap. It's pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. But with respect to today, I just want to once again remind everyone that we're in a lot of positive gamma. This is not a day for various reasons. We have earnings. We just I think this is more of a stall out day than anything else. I would not be betting on some sort of large move. If you're looking for a large move, your better odds are tracking individual equities rather than the overall market. They might get going. I think the interesting ones of the day are Tesla and Google as we head into their earnings this evening. So please be prepared for that. Other than that, that's what I have for you. At some point today, we're going to be putting up an update video of some of the major news that you might have missed out on, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, we will be streaming tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early. I do want to let you know that, yes, today we have Tesla and Google earnings, but then early tomorrow morning, we're going to have the interest rate decision out of the ECB, the European Central Bank. So that could definitely cause a little bit of movement, a little bit of volatility, will most likely really cause Trump to basically say, what is Jerome Powell doing? He's too late. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. So be on the lookout for those True Social updates later. I'm trying to think of anything else. Earnings tonight. interest rate decision tomorrow. We have some PMI numbers tomorrow. That's closer to 8:30. The interest rate decision, I believe, is at 5 a.m. And then other than that, intraday tomorrow, there's really not much going on. Not really much going on. So that's what I have for you. Obviously, stick to your trading plan, respect your risk, and hopefully all of your partial fills become full fills. So that's what I have for you. I will catch you guys later. Peace.